Okay, awesome possum. My computer's been plugged in for 3 hours and it's only up to 33%. I'm burning electricity. My battery's not recharging. I don't know what's going on. This computer's dying. It's dying, man. So we've learned about background image, background size, right? Background repeat, text align, center. We haven't learned about cursor. So we'll just see that real quickly. So let's say for whatever reason we wanted the cursor to change on this deal right here. So right now, when I go over Paradise, and is that still open? Where are you, Paradise? When I go over Paradise, I just have the cursor as a line. You see that line right there on the A? The first A, right? It's the insertion point. But if I come in here and I say, anytime you go over this H1, I want the cursor to be, and we have different choices. Crosshair, I want it to be a pointer. So now when I refresh this and go over that, notice I have the pointer, right? Or if I wanted that to be crosshair, now I have a crosshair. Like, oh, select something, drag over it. So that's how you do that. And the next one, we've got cursor, we've got background, we did text align center, and the last thing we haven't seen from this list, just to knock out this list, was max width and min width. So we've just been doing width. And how does that, you know, how do max width and min width fit into that? So let's look at that here for a second. So I'm going to do, this will be 36, max, min, width. And we're going to do this in the next video. What was this video? This video is short. We'll do it in this one. This will be max, min, width. Yeah. Oh yeah. And these need to come up a level. 33, 34 background image. This should be Shift F6. That should be 36. And this one should be Shift F6, 37. And then both those need to come up to that level. I'm coming up. Come on. Come on now. Yes, do it. And here we go, max and min width. Cool. All right, so we have a div. Let's put a border around it so we see what's happening. And let's give it a width of 100% and a height of, I don't know, 50, 200 pixels. And reveal that in Finder. There it is, okay? If I change my width to like 50%, that's not what I wanted. There it is, 50%. As I change this, it remains 50%, okay? Yeah, it's relative to the parent. It's 50% of the parent. It's always 50% of the parent. Let's give it a background color. Gray. Greensboro. Okay, 50%. Now, if I change this to min width 50%, minimum width, at a minimum, the width needs to be 50%. It's always 100%. I don't know, because it always can be. At a minimum, it needs to be 50%. Max width, 50%. At a maximum, that could only be 50%. It didn't really change anything, because that's our like relative measurement, right? What about if we switch to 500 pixels? The max width can be 500 pixels. There's 500 pixels, still 500 pixels. Well, now it's like less than 500, right? So But at a max, like I'm going to fill up. I'm a div. I take as much space as I can until I get to 500. That's my max width, and I stop taking space. That's max width. What about if we had min width? Min width, 500 pixels. I'm a div. I take up as much space as I can. I take up as much space as I can, as much space as I can, right? And look, right there, it just starts to tweak out a little bit. It disappears. You see that? So let me put some text in there. You see that? Right? Like my minimum width is 500 pixels. Like I don't get smaller than 500 pixels. Even if you go close the page, at a minimum I stay there. So min width, max width. My maximum width is 500 pixels. That's as big as I go. That makes more sense to me, right? Minimum width doesn't. So that's max width and min width. And we're looking at our outline here, just making sure we covered stuff. And then we have CSS selectors we've learned so far. We'll do that in the next video. Just keep these broken up so you can find them easy.